Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into one of the toughest mountains any business can try to climb, going global. We're going to use the real, hard-won lessons from a massive international expansion to show you what it actually takes to scale your brand across the world. So, let's just start with that big, shiny dream. I mean, is this the goal for your company? Planting a flag in a new country, becoming a truly international name? It's an incredible vision for sure. But as you can probably guess, behind that dream is a much more complex reality. And this quote right here, it just gets to the absolute heart of it. There's this huge gap between the glamour of going global and the gritty, demanding, day in, day out work it requires. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at what that work really is. All right, so first up, the big allure of going global. The very first thing you have to wrap your head around is that the domestic playbook, the one that made you successful in the first place, it just doesn't work when you cross a border. You kind of have to throw it out. Now, this is a really important idea, this concept of rebuilding. It isn't about just tweaking your model or making a few adjustments. No, it's about starting over from the ground up. You can't just copy and paste the systems that work so well at home and expect them to stick. The whole foundation you rely on, shared laws, culture, language, it's just gone. And that leads us right into the first huge myth that trips up so many companies, this belief that your business model is your actual product. It's a really common and really dangerous assumption to make. Here's the critical mental shift you have to make. The assumption is that how you do things is the product. But the reality, it's your why, your core values, your standards, your culture. That is the real product. All that other stuff, the specific processes, the tech stack, that's just infrastructure. And infrastructure has to be adaptable. And this just nails the consequence, doesn't it? The companies that fail to make this distinction, they're the ones that struggle the most. So you gotta remember this. Your values can travel anywhere, but your models often can't. That is lesson number one for any leader even thinking about expansion. All right, on to the next myth. This one is all about priorities. Most companies, they obsess over where they should expand. But the real key isn't the city, it's the person. It's the partner. And the difference here is absolutely vital. Look, a bad partner in your home market is a headache, for sure. But a weak partner internationally, that is a catastrophic liability. You have so much less visibility, fewer ways to fix things when you're thousands of miles away. Your success hinges almost entirely on who you have on the ground. So what does a great partner even look like? Well, they've got to have a deep, nuanced understanding of the local market. They bring their own relationships to the table. And maybe most importantly, there has to be a genuine, authentic alignment with your company's core values. I really love this quote because it sums up that ideal relationship perfectly. Your global brand is the platform. You bring the systems, the standards, the reputation. But the local partner, they provide the context. They make it all relevant and effective in that specific market. It's a true symbiosis. Okay, on to our third and final myth. This one's a little more subtle, but it is so important. There's this temptation to believe that to scale globally, every single office has to look and operate exactly the same. But that's just confusing uniformity with something way more powerful: consistency. Let's break this down a bit. Uniformity is basically trying to force every market into the exact same box. It completely ignores all the cultural, legal, and language differences. Consistency, on the other hand, that's about making sure the core promise, the values, the client experience is the same everywhere, even if the local expression of it looks totally different. And let's be clear, this kind of consistency doesn't just happen by magic. It requires a massive, and often pretty unglamorous, investment in the operational backbone of the business. You need tech that can handle all that variation, compliance that actually understands local laws, and training that reinforces your core culture across every border. So after we've busted all these myths, what does the real commitment to going global actually look like? Well, it means facing the hidden challenges and deep investments that most leaders just completely underestimate. I mean, just look at this timeline. Every single one of these steps takes exponentially longer in a new country. You can't just apply your domestic timelines and think it's going to work. Underestimating how much time it takes to build trust and recognition from scratch is one of the biggest reasons for failure. This quote really says it all, doesn't it? The launch party, the big press release, that is not the victory lap. That's the starting line of a much longer, much harder race. The real work has only just begun. And here it is, the final crucial piece of this whole puzzle. If your company culture relies on everyone being in the same office or on the charisma of one specific leader, it will not survive the journey across an ocean. Your values have to be systemic, built into your training, part of your DNA, to travel successfully. But after all this hard work, here's the ultimate payoff. The true opportunity of going global isn't just about grabbing more market share. It's about having a real impact. It's about entering a new market and actually elevating the entire industry by introducing a new standard of excellence. So we'll end with this question, and it's a challenge for you to take back to your own team. Beyond the strategy, beyond the funding and the ambition, is your culture, the very soul of who you are as a company, is it strong enough to travel? Because that is the real test of whether you're ready to go global. Thanks for watching.